Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Doug.
And I'm Lorenzo.
And this is Good Suffering.
It's a brand new podcast that Doug and I decided to start just a couple of weeks ago, I think. It's been in the making for much longer, though, because we've been wanting to do a project for some time. And now we're doing this, a podcast all about horror movies with a particular premise. Doug, would you explain that premise?
Yeah, sure. Well, I have loved horror for, honestly, I can almost be comfortable saying I've loved horror as long as I've been alive.
Wow.
And you haven't really, but you seem to have a newfound interest in it, but not a lot of experience. So this podcast is not only to give Lorenzo a bit of experience, but also to just be able to talk about horror. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to watch a movie that I have seen before. It's a rewatch for me every time.
Yep.
And it's a brand new movie for him every time.
Brand new, first time I've ever laid eyes on it.
And we're going to come together and talk about it on this show for the very first time. We're not going to say a word, not, oh, I liked it, I hated it, nothing, until we are here recording for you guys. And not only is that going to provide a personal journey for him into this like amazing world that like I have been a part of and I love so much, but it's also going to make for some interesting discussions because, you know, a lot of horror podcasts are always filled with people who know horror and they know the tropes, and you've got these like super well-versed, at least in the genre, hosts. But now we're going to see a view from the outside looking in as it's juxtaposed by somebody who's absolutely been there.
Yeah, I don't think I can add anything else besides the fact that I just know nothing. Okay, I can't say I know nothing about horror movie, though, because I really do like them. I just haven't seen them. I haven't seen too many, I should say. You know, I'm kind of hoping to learn a lot about horror movies and learning to appreciate them for what they're worth. I was just a scaredy cat as a kid growing up, but now I'm breaking out of that. And aside from that, you know, I was a film major for like half of my college career, and then I became a creative writing major instead because I figured I could write better than I can make movies. So the love of film has always been there, but horror movies just was that thing that was, you know, a little hard for me to approach. And you know, I'm just glad to be here, glad to be doing this with you because I know you're one of my best friends, and you're also someone that has this deep love for horror movies.
Oh yeah, 100%. Besides film and music and art in general, like I have such a passion for the way that the horror genre can blend. And I not only love the aesthetics of horror, I really believe that it can unlock truths about everything about life that no other genre can touch. Like it is the true unreality that creates the true reality. And I love horror so much, and it's on so many different levels, which is why I'm really excited about this, because we can watch some splatterfest movie, and we can talk about like the aesthetics and the gore and the effects, and I really have a passion for that. Or we can watch something that's heady and deep and brooding, and we can have a real philosophical or psychological discussion. And this podcast can go either way, and it changes episode to episode, and it's just like, I think that more than anything, this can just be a celebration of the genre.
Right, yeah, I totally agree. It's going to be something that I've always wanted to do, is talk about a specific genre of film, but there was never anything that I felt I know well enough. I still don't know well enough about this, but, you know, you do, so that's why we're doing this together. So I guess, you know, we should talk about maybe some movies that we do like. You know, talk about our favorite horror movies. I'm going to let you go first, mainly because I just don't even want to reveal my list until you have done yours.
Some of my favorite horror movies are The Shining, which is my absolute favorite movie of all time. I love it so much. Dead Alive, Evil Dead, Jaws, Scanners, Fright Night is just a super fun one. A couple of like lesser known ones like The Reflecting Skin and Repulsion. I love Hellraiser. I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Paranormal Activity, believe it or not. Night of the Living Dead. I got to stop myself because I'll just keep going on.
Yeah, and here we go with my incredibly short list in comparison. I mean, I also really love The Shining. You know, I was really into Kubrick before that, and I knew all about how like creepy it was. So that's definitely one of my favorites. Another one is Halloween, like the original John Carpenter one.
What a movie.
Yeah, I just think that's just incredible. So low budget, like it's just incredibly just like, oh boy, a gorilla, I guess you would say in a way. I don't know, some of the methods that they actually used to create that movie.
Yeah, I love Halloween so much. It's my comfy place movie. Like I can throw it on at any time, and like if I'm having an anxiety attack or I'm having a bad day, like whatever the situation is, if I put on Halloween, everything just automatically becomes okay. It's like it's a movie to me like coming home.
Yeah.
But I was wondering. I know you don't have a lot of experience, but do you have any like favorite horror directors? Anybody who's styles you really like? Any aesthetics?
Directors? No, I think I can flat out say no, because I've only seen probably like one of each. Not every director, but every single movie, every horror movie I've seen. It's it. That's just it's one director each time.
Right.
I don't think I've consistently watched one director. John Carpenter, maybe. No, I only seen Halloween. I don't think I've seen any of like the other actual like horror movies of his. I saw what's the one? They Live.
They Live. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
I
not
guess
horror.
it's horror adjacent.
Yeah, it's somewhere in there.
Yeah, but no, that's fine.
Hitchcock, that counts.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. I mean,
It's a
it's
suspense
hard
thriller.
to talk. It's hard to talk about any kind of genre filmmaking besides maybe like sci-fi without
Yeah.
like talking about Hitchcock, because he's such an influence. I mean,
Right.
like, even you look at De Palma, like half of De Palma's movies are just Hitchcock shots put together. Like,
yeah, complete ripoffs. Just shot wise, at least. No, definitely no directors. I could not name you one that I've stuck with.
I know that may seem like a little disappointing right now, but this is really good news, because that means that there's a lot waiting for you and a lot waiting for the people listening, wherever they are.
Yeah, whoever you guys are, I really hope you're along for the ride, because you're going to get to hear a total noob talk about horror movies and try to formulate his opinion properly. And then, maybe I'll learn something along the way, and maybe my critiques will become more eloquent. I think that's part of like the whole premise of this. The whole beauty of it is that I'm actually learning something here.
Well, I think that actually will bring a lot of really interesting things to the beginning episodes too, because I feel like you can come at it with such fresh eyes. You're looking at it from the outside looking in, and like people get the perspective of horror fans a lot, but now you're getting the perspective of somebody who doesn't really know
Who knows nothing.
that much. But some of my favorite horror directors, just to like throw them out there, I love John Carpenter. I mean, that's kind of a given at this point. I think everybody loves John Carpenter. But David Cronenberg is a huge influence, especially on my own like personal work. His stuff of just like the focus on the body and like the ultimate enemy winds up being yourself. Sam Raimi with his like stuff with the Evil Dead. Like the Evil Dead was the first movie I ever watched that like I recognized that somebody had to make it. Like it took me out of the like lore of it, but it made it so much better because it became this like real piece of art. It's a fucking brilliant movie.
That's the first movie. That's,
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
Yeah.
I watched that on a PSP, believe it or not, the first time. They used to
God.
sell little movies to
little
go in the
disc
pizza.
thing,
Yeah, that was in the little plastic casing. And that was the first time I saw The Evil Dead and Dawn of the Dead and so many fucking movies. But the Evil Dead, watching it on that little PSP in my hands in like the backseat of my mom's car, like was a life-changing experience for me. No doubt.
My first movie like that was Taxi Driver.
If you like something like Taxi Driver, or you like if you just like dark cinema, dark art at all, like I don't think that liking horror is that far off, and I think it's just people.
Yeah, you know what it is with me is that I was just so sheltered as a kid. My parents really wanted to preserve me from like everything in life. I went to Catholic school, like growing up until high school, so every grade before then was Catholic school. And I had this really nice lifestyle. Like I had like a bunch of toys, video games. I'm the only child, so it's just in my own little world, sheltered. And then every time we would go to the movies and there was a trailer for a scary movie, I just put my hands over my eyes. And it just stuck with me. It always did. Like I just always had this like aversion to scary movies until like I started, I guess studying film for one thing really opened my eyes to it, because I knew that there was a certain craft to that, like to really elicit that kind of response with an art form. I think film is another medium of art, and to be able to elicit that kind of thing, to strike that kind of fear in people's hearts, I was like, you know what, I can't I can't be a scaredy cat anymore. I have to learn how to do that. I really want to incorporate into my work as a filmmaker. Whether or not I make horror, I just want to be able to dictate people's emotions like that.
Right. I mean, that's actually honestly great to hear. And I didn't know that you went to Catholic school for so many years. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, look at you.
I guess not kindergarten, but from 1st to 8th.
Well,
wait, no, not 4th. So I missed 1 year in there.
Oh, well, yeah. Either way, like, I mean, horror definitely affected me in a big way as a kid. I definitely had some like gateway and kid-friendly horror in early parts of my life, but like, I got into horror in a big way when my half sister, who's much older than me, she showed me the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre off of a bootleg DVD when I was probably about 8 years old.
Oh my God.
And I didn't sleep for multiple nights. And like I had nightmares still to this day. There's a shot in the movie where Leatherface turns around and he's wearing Eric Balfour's face, who's Jessica Biel, who's the main character's boyfriend. And it's like, it's not carved up. It's just his face placed over like Leatherface's big head. And like, I don't know if I've ever experienced something that was like so haunting. And like, I just like, I know it, like, still like in my opinion, it pales to the original, but like it destroyed me.
You know what? Just hearing that, I think this podcast was a bad idea. I should not be watching scary movies.
Oh,
I'm already shaking.
To come.
That's not good. I'm still that little freaking Catholic school kid at heart when it comes to, only when it comes to horror movies, at least. Hopefully nothing else. But that sounds horrifying. Man.
Yeah. But as soon as I got over that fear, the thing that drew me was that, holy shit, I need more of this. You know, like I instantly wanted that feeling again. I was instantly intrigued, and it became this like safe place to explore like my own mortality.
Eesh.
Horror took my childhood away from me. I didn't see The Lion King until I was like 14. There was a lot of movies I did not watch, and a lot of things I don't experience.
You and I had some wildly different comments.
Yeah, because it became all about horror.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for my mom, who never stopped me from pursuing anything that was too adult or anything. As much as you had like this protected Christian upbringing, Christian-esque upbringing, I had a mother who was very, very willing to let me explore the things that I wanted to do. And it was awesome.
That's not you know what? I'm going to go ahead and defend my mother now.
Your mother is a soft and gentle woman. And
no, she
definitely
encouraged all my interests, like in arts and stuff. But it's just like I don't know what it was. Maybe I'm blaming it on them, and it was just purely me that just was scared. And then they knew, okay, son doesn't like horror movies, keep him away.
Right.
It's just that kind of thing. I mean, I remember we did watch, I had a lot of VHS tapes of Goosebumps. I would watch those as a kid. I'd read them a couple here and there I would read. But that was like the extent of it. Like, I don't know what it was. Sometimes it's like an inciting event when it comes to your fears. I cannot tell you what actually like occurred to me that was like, okay, I'm never doing this again. Because that was literally how it was for me. I never, ever wanted to watch a horror movie growing up. But hey, that's why we're doing this now.
Yeah.
Trying to make up for lost time.
I'm so excited. There's
you have that huge bookcase over there of just filled with movies, and a lot of them are horror movies.
I'm looking over at it, and I'm just so excited, like to meet somebody who has never seen the Thing or something like I get to like almost like half curate like how you're going to ascend into this insane genre.
The podcast listeners can't see it, but I'm doing a dance right now for how excited I am. This is going to be great.
Yeah. Oh no, you're going to be definitely freaked out. And
I
as we hang out, I kind of learn your fears.
Yeah.
And I will absolutely be peppering things that will
right. I just remembered.
Terrify you. I know you don't like clowns, and
I've
got a
definitely
lot.
Not. Screw that.
Paranormal. Oh, did
As
you
a
see
kid?
the new one?
Yeah, I did see it. I saw the new one.
I love the new one.
When I saw like just the commercial, like the trailer or whatever as a kid, that was it. Chucky too. Oh, man. I want to ask you, do you remember what I told you? Like, it's like my ultimate fear when it comes to like horror movies, or like what one movie really just kind of messes me up, or one trope, I guess. Because if you don't, that's great. I'm not going to remind you until much later, until I grow thicker skin.
I remember you telling me something maybe about paranormal stuff?
No, not
What is it?
quite.
What is
Almost
it?
a little
What is
bit.
it?
I'm not telling
Haunted
you.
house stuff?
No,
Or
that's fine. I'm
exorcism
okay.
stuff?
Nope, that's cool. Oh, you know what? You're on to something there. That's kind of like a lesson.
Religious stuff.
Like dealing with demonic
The
things.
devil.
There you go. Catholic gospel
Oh,
bringing.
boy.
There you go.
Ooh,
But that's not
you-
it. That's not the one. There's another one.
Oh, you should definitely tell
I'm
me.
definitely not gonna tell
I
you.
promise I'll avoid that.
You will not. You are not my
you're
parents.
No.
You know what? I'll tell you when a little bit farther in the show.
When you're able to handle it.
When
Okay,
I've grown
okay, man.
some kind of tolerance.
Sure.
to horror movies. Yeah.
But yeah, I think the listeners have gotten a good profile on us and our experience, at least related to what they're looking to hear out of this.
And if you want to know a little bit more, you know what? Just hit us up on our Facebook group, or profile rather. Any kind of reaching out is cool. Any kind of interaction, we want to hear from you.
Yeah, we have a Twitter and we have an Instagram, and I'm gonna link those down in the show notes.
Yep.
And yeah, absolutely. You don't have to give us a review yet. You don't have to do anything.
You should,
honestly.
though.
Just
you should.
subscribe. Just come along for the ride. That's all I'm asking for.
Fine. At the very least, subscribe. But if you feel it in your heart, please just give us that 5-star rating just on this episode alone. Just do it.
This may be the first episode you guys hear, but this is absolutely not the first episode. We have
Right.
something coming up for you.
Yes.
This is going to be focused each episode movie by movie, and I'm happy to say that the first movie that we're talking about is Peter Jackson's absolute gore-fest classic, my second favorite movie of all time, the movie that makes me want to make movies.
Enough with the hard sell already. Tell them.
It's Dead Alive. It's fucking Dead Alive, and I love it. And just make sure you catch it if you haven't beforehand, because there's definitely going to be spoilers in
gonna
the
be
episode. Not that there's many spoilers. It's not really a plot-driven film as much as it is an effects-driven film and a horror comedy.
Yeah.
We're starting this serious podcast that contemplates horror off with a horror comedy, and I couldn't be more excited.
Yeah, I'm totally thrilled to get my pants scared off of me.
No, you won't.
maybe not
I think
with
that's
this
part of the
one.
reason why I picked it.
Right, just a nice little starter for me. Yeah. And first Peter Jackson movie for me? No, that's not true.
No, you gotta have seen Lord of the Rings.
No, I haven't. I haven't seen any of those.
King Kong.
I've seen King Kong. I think that's about
Have
it.
you seen Lovely Bones or
Nope.
Heavenly Creatures, The Frighteners?
Nope.
No, okay. Wow, shit. I love Peter Jackson. But anyway, thank you guys so much for listening this far if you've made it.
Yay.
We will see you in about a week with our first episode, but I want to warn you that after that, our episodes are going to probably come about bi-weekly.
Probably bi-weekly to start.
Absolutely. Anyway, thank you guys so much, and we will see you next time.